I hope that you're the one. If not, see, you are the prototype. We'll tiptoe to the sun. Do things, oh yeah, I know you like. I think I'm in love again.
This is Ron Coel with MadamNoire.com, and today we're here with Jesse Boykins the third.
How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm great.
Okay, good. All right, so we're just gonna jump right into it. Tell us a little bit about this latest album, Love Apparatus.
Wow. It's my third project that I've been working on since 2008. It's really about balance in relationships, not just between a man and a woman, but between human beings. It's just, I look at it as different levels of love, basically, because everyone always thinks that love is like love, like, oh my God, I'm so in love, but there's definitely degrees to it, you know, and I feel like it's important to acknowledge and know each one of those degrees, you know, when you're in relationships and when you're living life. So that's pretty much what the album's about. I've been working on it with a producer named Machine Drum, and we did the whole project together, pretty much. I did some production on it as well. But yeah, it's different songwriting. It's really forward. It's really progressive. It's really inspired by a lot of different sounds and styles of music. I call it world soul, pretty much. So yeah.
So you do not like the neo soul label?
I'm not a fan of the word neo soul. I don't really feel like soul should have the word new in front of it, because it's not new.
Right.
You know, soul is not just a genre. To me, it's a part of every style of music. You know what I'm saying? It's more so like a feeling, more so like an emotion that, you know, soulful. Like, I feel this.
All right, so let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
You, like many artists, you started with music in 4th grade, 9 years old, something like that.
You did research.
Okay, I did. And did you have that moment where you knew that you were going to do music professionally?
Yes, definitely. Growing up, you know, when you get acknowledged for something that you're good at, or something that you're showing, like somebody's putting a light on you because of the one thing that you're doing.
Right.
That's when that's pretty much, you know, the signal for when you have that support from your family and people acknowledge you and recognize you as, oh, you that kid that sings, you know, and that's pretty much what happens. I got knighted that, like, okay, this is what you're gonna do. Like, okay, you're good at this, you're good at that, yeah, it's cool, okay, you're good at that too, but this is you right here, you know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what happened when I started. Like, I would be at a Christmas party, my mom would be like, everybody be quiet, my son's gonna sing Silent Night. And she'd be like, be quiet, sing Silent Night, I give you $5 when we leave. And she would just put me on a pedestal, like, yo, sing. So, and I would have to sing, you know, or like, we would, you know, anything. It would be a girl's birthday party, and I go over to the house to have a party and chilling with everybody else. I'm thinking everything's cool, and somebody's like, you know, you're gonna sing some happy birthday by the time. And everybody's like, Jesse's gonna sing happy birthday, be quiet. I'm like, all right, cool. And then, so I was like dragged into it, and then, you know, I started liking the attention that I was getting, and then I started actually like realizing that I was good at it. You know, once you start getting the self-confidence and the self-love for what it is you do, you know, you do it.
Right. So describe your sound on this third album compared to your first two. How has it changed?
My first two albums were really, really heavily influenced by like Curtis Mayfield, and, you know, like really influenced by cats like Marvin Gaye and, you know, just Sam Cooks, you know, like cats who, like, so Curtis Mayfield, he's a soul artist, but the arrangements of his music was really unorthodox, you know. Even like the Isley brothers, you know, their music was really soulful, but there were things in their music as far as the arrangement goes and some of the songwriting that was not soul music. So that was my first two albums. Like, that's the kind of like what I wanted it to embody, kind of, you know what I'm saying, like the tradition of that. But this new album, it's more so about, like, I was listening to like the Beatles and Pink Floyd and, you know, and things in that realm, you know what I'm saying, like the Black Keys. Like, I don't know, I just look at this more so as a different perspective, because those albums I recorded when I was 22 years old, 23 years old. I'm 26 now, And you know, I've traveled, and you know, I've been a couple places and actually experienced things that I didn't experience when I was 22. You know, I was fresh out of college. I'm living in New York, so that's how I was writing. But now I have a different perspective on things. So my songwriting has matured immensely.
So besides places and people and other artists, what else inspires you to create musically?
Culture, like culture and history. It's like I'm a researcher addict. Like I Google all day. Like if there's something I don't know about, I'll go find out who started it. I'll find out when they were born. I'll find out what city they grew up in, when did they move, like why they moved. If I could find that out, like that's one thing that that inspires me a lot. Is powerful people's lives, or people who have affected this world in a way that you wouldn't even realize. And I just amplify that. I try to amplify that through my music and through what it is that I do.
Let's talk about the hair. Do you allow? What's the constant question on our site, like among Black women, like, can people touch our hair, and is it okay for people to touch your hair, and do you feel like you're being petted, that type of thing? So, do you allow people to touch your hair?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't feel like any. Like, if you want to shake my hand, you can shake my hand. It just depends on how you're doing it. That's all it is. Like if I go to get you a handshake and you shake my hand like this, then I already know like that's not. So it's the same thing.
So how does the hair attract the ladies? Would you say?
I don't necessarily look at it like that. I don't know. The purpose of the reason why my hair is the way it is not because of anyone else's thoughts on it. Because when I first started wearing my hair out, people thought I was crazy. My mom saw my hair out on 106 in Park and called me, and I was on TV. Like, I'm an independent artist. That's never happens.
Right.
I'm like on TV premiering a video that I did. I shot with my homie, Dr. Wu. I'm like, wait, my mom called me, and she's like, "You're Jamaican." I like, yeah, no, but you left your hair. So I'm like, Mom, you called me to tell me about my hair. Like, the reason why I wore my hair like this is like to express my freedom in my art.
Well, I heard you mention Dr. Wu earlier, and we saw your prototype video.
Yes.
So what made you decide to cover that song? And talk a little bit about your relationship with Dr. Wu too, because your videos are not, the norm.
Thank you for realizing that. I appreciate that. Prototype. I would perform that song all the time. Like, this is what happened basically is when Andre 3000 came out with the Love Below album, that's all I listened to for like a year, literally a whole year, and it just was crazy to me that a man who was not a singer had one of the best singing albums that I've ever heard.
True.
And I was like, what if a singer sang one of his songs? Like, no disrespect to Andre and his voice, but a trained singer or someone who has that talent to do so. With the band one day, and I was like, let's try a prototype. And we just tried it in rehearsal. This was back in like 2008 too. And then we're like, all right. Everybody's like, some people like my boy OJ Trumpler, like, nah, I'm cool on prototype. Like, all right, whatever. I start calling it in the set. Everybody's looking at me like, in the band, and we start playing it, and then the first notes come out, and then everybody's like, oh, I got to sing prototype. So they realize the reaction, and then that made me realize that Andre's album was not only impactful to me, but to everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, I just look at it as me paying homage. Came with this concept, and when I'm telling my stories for the concept for videos that I come up with, like, because me and Wu come up with all the concepts for every video, and we're always like, we'll be like in a random place, like doing laundry at the laundromat or something. I'd be like, yo, I got the concept for pantyhose. And we like telling it, he's like, yeah, we gonna do this too. So that's pretty much what happened. Like, I started telling him the story about it, and he was like, knife, where did the knife come in? He started getting engaged in it, and he started picturing it. And once I get him to believe, I already know he's gonna take it to the next level.
Is there anything else you want to add, talk about, want us to know?
I just want to thank you for coming here and interviewing me. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you. Yeah. Really appreciate it. Wanted to get to talk to you.
Definitely. If you haven't heard my music, you can go on my website, jbiimusic.com, and take a listen. I'm also available on iTunes. I'm on Twitter, JB3music. Thank you. Stay with me. Love and light.